Welcome to the nightly vid. We will be taking a look at the SPY to start. It's going to be a little bit closer to 2 up. We will be aware, it took a little bit profit at the end of the day, but we are a 2 up week this week. But that's got to be enforced. So we need to be above last week's highs for that to be a good thing. If we reclaim and change back to red, we would have full time frame continuity down with a 2-2 on a Tuesday. So I want to be aware of that, potentially a change in continuity if we can't stay firm up there. On a 4-hour or 60 basis, your triangle, you could draw it like this or like this. Back down to the 60, you'll see the new lows, the new highs, and then nowhere near daily reversal. Qs. Similarly, you're going to see on the daily here, we did take last week's highs out. Here's your daily broadening formation. Question is, if we remove all that stuff, it is 2-2 week. So that's a good thing all week. But we got to stay green. We got to stay above last week's highs. So the question is, do we go 2-2 on our Tuesday in tech, start bringing them back in, or do they reconfirm 2 up? And before we keep going, we go to Forex Factory. We do have the FOMC presser Wednesday. So, maybe we go inside on Tuesday and then twos Wednesday up or down to confirm and negate. So that's something you want to be aware of. That being said, if we go to the Dow Jones, it could be the same story here. 2-2 week, closer, but it's still inside, so a little weaker. An IBM, same story, 2-2 week, and does it confirm or negate is the question. Now, that being said, we go take a look at our sectors. We have a lot of sectors that did break that. So you got the indexes, semis, tech, energy. Then you got financials, regionals. So when the Fed starts going, the financials, this is something we want to know about. Either we get a 3 on the week or this is going up towards its magnitude. We have defense sector up 3-2-2. Materials are closer to 2 up. Transports, not so much. Retail, not so much. Communications, not so much. Discretionary, a little weaker today. Communications, not so much. We will see prior to the Fed, they're selling off the VIX and UVXY, so they're not, worried about it. What we will see still this week is they're buying gold, they're buying silver, gold miners. So if we go SLV in here, we will see silver, gold, all the miners. These are all still going. So this is something we picked up on and they're still going. GDXJ, you can see 50 to 56. That's a pretty good one. JNUG was even nicer. You see 51 or 50 to 61 or 60 right at this point. So really good stuff in there still. And that's where we put all of our strat traders on to start off the new month. If we go and take a look quick, you will see that here. So you're going to see in 3-6, we said the most evidence we have now is silver, gold, JDX, JNUG, precious metals. This is where you want to start the month as a buyer. If the week does not reverse, we'll stick on these all month. And you'll see the 2-2 that started on 3-3 has not reversed. So we're still on those all month is what we'd say. We got all these 2-2s that we're going to be playing with this week. That being said, to start the week, things are stronger. BABA, you'll see 3-on-2 week with full time frame continuity. Since it's a broadening formation, you got to stay up and out of this stuff, of course. You'll see PDD, same thing. You got the inside week and up. They do finish the compound 3. Does have full time frame continuity still, and I believe that's a 2 going 3/4. Yeah, still 2 going 3/4. There's also VIPs in there. What you're going to see is, just continuing in the Chiners. We got a JD in there, 2-2 week as well, full time frame continuity, 2 up month, all across the board. So JD might turn into a bigger PMG year. But that being said, BABA is definitely one I want to know about. Now, as far as things are slightly weaker, but also going, we will see the energies, right? XLE. Got the weekly triangle playing out, XOP. You have the weekly triangle here trying to play out in here, big one. And OIH, little weaker, but same triangle as the rest. So we'll see if that confirms or negates. It tells you things like MPC. See, starts the week inside and up, like VLO. See, starts the week inside and up. You're gonna have things like CVX, which are not doing anything at this point. XOM, which confirmed last week's reversal, so one of the stronger ones. This triangle did complete in here on the week, so we got to stay up there. If we zoom out, you got a much bigger one to worry about as well to the upside. You will have things like AR, which is Ontero, taking last week's highs. I believe it's inside and up. And, there's a lot that we could talk about, but those are some of the main ones. FANG. It's just week 2-2 reversal and up. So got a lot of energies going. If we go into the tech, XLK, you have things like Crowd. 2-2 week, starting the week off. A little bit of profit taken at the close, we will see. So things like Spotify. 3-2-2 week, going to the upside. Things like PanW, a little bit weaker here, so probably one we'll shy away from. We want long green and red bars. We'll see MPWR in the technologies. A little bit of a more expensive name, but we did talk about it briefly on the weekend vid. Starts pretty strong here. Okta Technologies, there's your momentum week. Full time for continuity, nice long green bars, and it is a 2-year inside bar and up at this point. So on a 2-year chart, that's a 3-1-2 reversal, but we'll see. They're up at exhaustion risk. And then there was GoDaddy inside week and up, which has already hit magnitude, so it may rev strat the other way if things become weaker. Still an inside month soon, more likely to rev strat, but there's a little bit of tech stuff in there, and then we did see some cruise lines. You'll see 2-2 in CCL, 2-2 in RCL, 2-2 in NCLH with a Momo Hammer for tomorrow if they're going to keep cruise lines gunning. If we go to financials, you'll see the 3-2-2, and again with the Fed later this week, you want to be aware of that. But Bank of America, that's a 3-2-2. Citigroup, that's a 2-2 reversal. Goldman Sachs, that's a 2-2. Morgan Stanley, that's a 2-2. And then we specifically mentioned, go back to the list in here, specifically mentioned insurers in here, Progressive, Allstate, which I believe AIG was also, but Progressive and Allstate. So you see Allstate, 3-2 week up to start the week, and they went out at the highs. Progressive, that's a 2-2 week up. Then you could also be looking at Aflac, AFL, which did go 2-2 week right at the close of Monday's trading. So yeah, a lot of stuff we could be talking about there, and then regional banks as well, of course. So that's kind of the gist. The only other thing I can add is Lockheed Martin. A little firmer this week, NOC, a little more firm this week inside day with General Dynamic from the weekend vid, GE from the weekend vid inside week and up, with RTX from the weekend vid inside week and up. In the DFEN sector, tells you Boeing does start as a 2-2, still pretty red on the month. So the biggest thing you just want to know is if you're buying, right, things green on the month are stronger, and that's where we prefer to be. So we look for that specifically, and that's where, things like Baba scream at you. You can see it's green month for sure. That's where we want to be. And then the rest of them we'll see as the week goes on. Do we confirm or negate? But that is about all I'm seeing there as far as Turnaround Tuesday is concerned. We want to look for things that are 2 down or inside to confirm or negate what we know to be true. So, like, let's say we go inside of days, which I'm scanning right now, and we look at them. We got, information technology, MRVL. So Marvel, that's an inside day, would be closer to a 2-2 week. So that inside bar will either confirm the semis, which are already going up, or if semis go 2-2 tomorrow, Marvel would go inside day down. So you can see 3-1-1 day, and maybe take the week 2 down and still be bright red on the month. So Marvel. And we're going to move some of the stuff down. I'll tell you, it's the semi sector. Looks like we got some healthcares in there today, of which the XLVs were firm today. They firmed up. VRTX and CVS. So you can see VRTX right back up at the all-time highs, but inside day. CVS. This one's for the monthly guys. We put this in a monthly vid. This is what that looks like. See the inside month and up. Maybe something like this. So we're looking for it to go up there. We'll see. But you do have an inside day there to confirm that. And that would confirm healthcares. We also have this like 1, 2, 3, 4 week inside bar here that could break off of that. So CVS, healthcares. Also more healthcares, REGN inside day. It's obviously been moving around a bit. Triangle looks like that for now. Defense sector, NOC, we already talked about, but we'll throw around the list. Dollar Tree, that's interesting. See, the slight pokes up, the slight pokes down, double inside day. We'll mark out. These are 2x. You can also look at Dollar General to see if they're moving together tomorrow. It's a 2-day inside bar on Dollar General. And it looks like Roblox is inside day, MicroStrategy inside day. MSTR, that could trigger the week. It'd be momentum, but MSTR, which tells you Bitcoin, you might get the 3-1 day into tomorrow. Would be PMG down or slight PMG up. Sorry about that. And that instantly tells me Ripple inside day. If that works, it would trigger a RevStrat week. Like this, BTC XRP, and maybe Coin, which has been a lot weaker recently. Maybe Hood, which is a little bit stronger this week. 322. Hood question mark. We will see Google inside day. Closer to continuing down. So let's say we get 2-2 on a Tuesday. This is the type of stuff you want to hit. Notice the month, bright red. Week, closer to 2 down. The day inside down would trigger the 2 down week. So that's what you want to do tomorrow if things weaken up. You also have Daku for the gapper traders. And we'll have this. We actually remove some of the previous gaps just so we don't have much here to mess with, but Daku, you will have inside day with high volatility. Put a star next to it. If that works, back through an outside month. And when you have long red and green bars, if it's still an inside week, you know, this is still pay pretty good, right? 3%. And if it really kept going, 10%. So you can watch that. And if it rev strats, even better. You get the rev strat back up. Now, as far as the hammers and shooters go, since the market did go up today, you'll have more 2 up in reds, I imagine. So Meta would be one of those guys. PLTR slightly. I want to make this quicker here for you guys, so I'm just going to do it the quick way with my eyes here. No speaking. So Meta, you might get some 1-2-2 with SMCI if things do weaken up. You're going to have less evidence on the downside, but if the market all reverses, those would be some that might have some issues. Pins, maybe, could become the 1-2-2. A lot of nobodies. Most of the big guys rallied today. So 2 up in red, we don't got much. We're about 2 down in green. Got about 20 names 2 down in green today. EVGO is one of those guys closer to an inside week and up. That confirms your semis. Guild in the healthcare is closer to 2-2 with potential 3-3. Potential 3-3 week in there. Han. Stuck in the middle. A lot of nobodies. What, Firm, maybe? Maybe. Could have the 2-2 on a Tuesday and a Firm, which confirms the financials. But you're going to have slim pickings, you know, and the reason that is because when you have a simultaneous weekly break on a Monday, you just buy everything Monday, right? And then if it goes 2 on Tuesday, they're still buying them. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So we'll see what they follow through with. By the way, I'm going to be going to Florida to meet with T-Trades. So we might have some content coming out about that, but it's mostly we're just be meeting on business stuff with software that we're developing, right? But that being said, maybe we'll have some stuff coming out with him, but that's where I'm going to be. So if I don't have a nightly video out tomorrow night, the strat attack is simply go and look at the weekend vid, find anything 2 up to start the week. That's what you want to look for. And then you can follow those the rest of the week as the Fed comes out. And when the Fed comes out, if I don't have a video, again, watch those financials, watch the gold and silver, and watch the VIX. See if they start buying that back before the Fed, then they're a little worried. If not, then they're probably not worried, and the market's probably going back up. But that's all I've got for you guys tonight. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow morning. But if not, I'll at least be in the chat and alerting on some of the signals we mentioned to start the week.